Welcome, foolish mortals. Today we invite you cordially to Gracie Manor. This picturesque edifice of exquisite sophistication has not had anyone living inside it for decades. But that is not to say it has been empty all these years. Some perpetuate the rumor that it is home to several hundred sorts of spirits, haunts, apparitions, and ghosts. Is there any veracity to this gossip? Well, I won't dare give it away. You will have to find out for yourself as you take a ride on the Haunted Mansion. Ha ha ha! But where do we begin? Oh, that is the question indeed, isn't it? I am Surfer Clock, and this is...
Tap G, will you come out from under the bed? We're live!
Sorry, bro. No can do. I am far too engrossed in my safari for dust bunnies to quit now.
You're on safari? For dust bunnies?
And if I quit now, 13 months worth of work goes down the drain.
Dude, the last time you went on safari for dust bunnies, it was during Halloween Horror Nights 22. You were really just too scared. Oh my god. Are you afraid of a haunted mansion?
I plead the fifth. I deny all charges. I am not a crook.
I don't believe it. You're afraid of a haunted mansion. Wow. Dude, there are kittens with more masculinity than you.
Okay, yes, fine. I admit it. The haunted mansion does actually give me the creeps. But you know what? Bite me. Because, my fellow co-host, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is not taking unnecessary risk for image or glory. And courage, I recently learned, is not a brand of paper towels. Courage, my friend, is fear. Fear that has kissed its lucky rabbit's foot, never knowing if one will live to see tomorrow morning. I may be afraid of a Disney dark ride made of glow paint and parlor tricks, but I wrote it. I wrote it and admit my cowardice in the name of true courage. Boo!
Nicely executed, Tower Girl. Here's the 20 I owe you now.
Reese, did you get it all?
Every word, girlfriend. I'm uploading it to my channel now. You know, sirs, you really ought to consider retiring the WTA bit and just going with making viral videos of taps.
Yeah, it's been done to death. Besides, we have a commitment to educate the masses about theme park rides.
You're lost, Kimosabi.
You guys are jerks. You know that?
Come on, admit it. There's nothing scary about the Haunted Mansion, unlike Tower of Terror, which is just awesome.
And it's nowhere near as bad as Stitch's Great Escape.
Well then, aren't we all just a bunch of smarty-head smarts? Let's inform our listeners about the ride's sordid history.
When Walt Disney and artist Harper Goff first drafted plans for the Disneyland park in the early 50s, 100 ideas were discussed and drafted, thanks in part to Walt's unbridled imagination. Among these ideas was a haunted house, though for a while he balked at the idea. Haunted houses were typically dilapidated old buildings that went against Walt's preference for clean and inviting exteriors. Imagineers like Ken Anderson, Rolly Crump, and Yale Gracie persevered with ideas with all sorts of macabre tales, characters, and concepts. Their models and experimental effects were so terrifying, the nightly janitorial crew actually forfeit cleaning their private studio after dark.
New Orleans Square started construction in 1961 and opened 5 years later, all with plans to include, I don't know, some ride about pirates, and the haunted house. But between Walt's involvement in the 1964 World's Fair and his 1966 death, the project was placed on the back burner numerous times. Finally, 3 men stepped up to the plate to finish the project. Mark Davis, a former Disney animator and gag man, Claude Coates, a background artist and architect with a taste for the dark and morbid, and Rolly Crump, who wanted a museum of the weird filled with all sorts of eerie, creepy props like coffin clocks and faced mirrors and man-eating plants. Creepy!
Oh, get over yourself. Imagineer Ex Atencio resolved the funny versus scary disputes between Davis and Coates by incorporating both elements. Even Crump's tchotchkes found places in the ride. They took Walt's words to heart by making the exterior grand and elegant. They said, "We'll take care of the outside, and let the ghosts take care of the inside." Prior to opening day, Disney ran radio ads inviting ghosts in need of a home to move in. The success of opening day attendance in 1969 was so strong that it broke then-current attendance records.
The Haunted Mansion was an opening day attraction in Florida in 1971. However, set instead in Liberty Square, the building was modeled after the Hudson River Valley Dutch Gothic Revival architecture. Despite the howls and the eerie organ music that saturate the moody ambiance outside its wrought iron gates, guests pour in through its queue by the thousands daily.
Oh, but that's not the scary part.
It isn't?
In 2003, Disney made the most terrifying addition to the legacy of the Haunted Mansion. It was none other than the Haunted Mansion movie.
Looks like them critics boys is about to learn the meaning of Ghost of a Chance. You know, I am all for watching Tab G looking like a grade 8 bona fide motley, but come on, it's already drafty in here.
Well, okay, I admit this movie is about as horrendous as movie tie-ins get, and, well, this movie really is something to fear.
Hey, I liked it.
You did?
Okay, it's no Citizen Kane, but I watched it a lot growing up.
Tower Girl, it has a 13% rating on RottenTomatoes.com. The consensus on IMDb is 4.8 out of 10 stars. Domestically, it earned $15 million short of its budget.
I don't care. I liked it.
So, tell them the good news yet?
What good news?
Dude, Hellboy director Guillermo del Toro is making a new Haunted Mansion movie with all the good, gritty, gory stuff we don't have in the ride today. That's weak sauce, bro.
Yeah, I heard he was going to make the Hatbox Ghost the villain.
Who's the Hatbox Ghost?
Well, the Haunted Mansion, unlike most original rides with original characters at the Disney parks, features a massive array of character names and backstories, not all of them official. The Hatbox Ghost being one of them.
Let's take a walk through. Unless you're scared, Tap G.
Oh, you want to start something, muchacho? Because we can throw it out right here, right now.
Guys, cut it out. The review.
Now, Tower Girl, let's not disrupt the creative process. If blood happens to spill, that's just collateral damage.
Look, just calm down, bro. Let's do this one step at a time, okay? Why don't you start us off?
Okay, fine. When you enter the queue underneath the looming Gracie Manor, named for one of the original Imagineers, E.L. Gracie, guests will notice there are two lines. One goes straight into the mansion, and one meanders through the graveyard. Like many adventures of Winnie the Pooh in Fantasyland, the cemetery has interactive elements that keep restless kids and adventurous adults occupied. While there, look for tributes to these Disney legends who all contributed to the Haunted Mansion. Claude Coates, Mark Davis, Thurl Ravenscroft, E.L. Gracie, Blaine Larson, and Paul Frees.
Your first stop inside the foreboding manor is the foyer. A portrait of the mansion's former residence slowly decays into a rotting skeleton right before your eyes. Then you are called to the stretching room where everyone moves to the dead center of the room. Here, the ghost host, voiced by voice actor extraordinaire Paul Frees, welcomes you in his usual intimidating manner. Fun fact, the stretching room in Disneyland is an elevator, actually going down. The one in Florida can't go down due to the high water table, so the ceiling rises. And don't forget to watch the portraits as they stretch too. That somber appearance doesn't stay long.
Who is the ghost host? Who are the people in the paintings? Heck, who was the guy in the foyer? Show writer Exitencio wrote a long, detailed script with all sorts of elaborate names like Abigail Patecleaver, that's the lady with the flower in the stretching room portrait. Over the years, fans have written their own fan fiction for each of the mansion's 999 ghosts, but things like the identity of the ghost host and the attraction's storyline are left rather ambiguous.
After leaving the stretching room, you make your way down the hall to your vehicle, the Doom Buggy, which can seat up to 3 people. This also is your last chance to exit before boarding. And speaking of chicken exits, Tap J.
I'm fine.
$20 says Tapper snaps like a twig before they get to the graveyard.
I say the seance room. You're on.
So, now you're at the mercy of the ghost host as he shuffles you into the halls and corridors of the manor in your Doom Buggy. Creepy sights and sounds greet you at every turn. There's M.C. Escher-style staircases with ghostly footprints,
an endless hallway with a lone candlestick floating in the darkness,
wallpaper and chairs with ghastly leering faces,
an organ that's being played by a shadow,
breathing doors,
paintings that go from pretty and elegant to dark and morbid with only a flash of lightning,
busts of glowering faces that follow your slow, unnerving crawl through the darkened hallways as you continue to forge deeper and deeper into the mansion that's filled, busting at the seams, chock full of nearly 1,000 haunting spirits.
Pay up.
It was close.
Guys? We got a problem.
I'll say, my bookie's starting to ask questions about my gambling addiction.
Not that. This!
Tapji's hat.
Big deal, Sahib. It's his hat. So what?
You don't understand. Tapji never forgets his hat.
What are you getting at?
I think we pushed him too far, guys. I think he left the show.
But he was the cute one.
And I owe $75,000 to Doug the Griffin now.
I don't think the show can go on. This might be the end of What's the Attraction?
To be continued.